think people are questioning the hearing this increase, and we go by it, and nothing is done, no improvement in electricity supply.
Okay, so I want to say I'm one of the individuals who faults the fact that there are certain places in Lagos where they have decided to give them more power supply because they are ready to pay more. When we look at those who are unable to afford electricity, like my mom's house now, they haven't. I was home in December. My mom was telling us the transformer got blown up, and the community has to raise 6 million naira to be able to buy transformer for themselves, right? And then at the end of the day, that statement of when you buy the transformer, you still have to pay them to come and do what the necessary things for you to have power supply. So how are they actually helping these individuals? What is being done in ensuring that these things are done right? The fault of this actually starts from the fact that there were so many corruption with the privatization of the power sector. The level of selfishness in the privatization of the power sector has what has led us to this point. And I'm one of still the persons with the opinion that for these things to get better, there needs to be. I strongly believe that if the government, if we all Nigerians can take the risk of deprivatizing back the power sector, ensuring that we do not we collect everything we have from disco. We talked about cement. This is 2021. The federal government promised us by 2021 we'll have 5,000 megawatts in terms of distribution for Nigerians, and by
Hmm.
2020, by 2025, 2030, we'll be looking at over 25,000 megawatts. How close are we to these deals? Would these deals be allowed to come into limelight? There needs to be more diversification in the power sector for us to get it right. Or better still, the government take it back and we try to start all over again with the documentation. Because as long as we do not address the fact that there is a loophole in that bill that guides the national electricity distribution companies, which allows them to review, make an upward review, or just a review in particular. Nobody makes a downward review. Questions have been asked. What equipment have you bought? We are always hearing of a breakdown. We know that distribution is different from generation, but this is supposed to be a synergy. This is supposed to be a synergy with regards to how this power is being supplied. I've not slept with light in the last 24 hours. I've had to run on generators. These are the things we need to look at. We are willing to pay more. I think Nigerians would be willing to pay more when the light is constant, when we see what we use it for,
What we're paying for.
what we're paying for.
Hmm. All right. Thank you very much for that, Daniel. 070 is the studio line for you to drop your messages this morning on the newspaper review on Women Radio 91.7. We would like to get your contributions this morning. And we'll go to the Punch newspaper. This says here, NIMC workers accuses federal government of covering up COVID-19 in agencies. This is actually a very heavy allegation that has been stated against the federal government. The National Identity Management Commission officials across the country on Thursday began a strike action over the fear of COVID-19 spread in the agency. The president of the Association of the Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, NIMC unit, Ashek Kokai Loki, in an interview with one in Abuja, said already the virus has been detected in 3 officials of the agency at the headquarters. And he said the workers were annoyed because the management of the commission was aware of the development but kept it from the workers who could have taken necessary precautions to protect themselves. Lucky also said that the workers would meet with the government on Friday today to discuss COVID-19 scare and other issues that led to the strike. And following the strike embarked upon by the workers, people who trooped to the NIMC offices across the country were stranded at as there was nobody to attend to them.
In my head, I'm saying NIMC, now just the wake up, now just the realize your life is important. And it's funny. It's funny how we have found ourselves in this position, and it is very, very disgraceful of the government once again with how they have handled things. Now, look at
And
it from
I think if this allegation is true, that people.
yeah, no, and even see first and foremost, you make a declaration suddenly without prior preparation. Now, for what this means is what we have not realized is that the NIMC workers have become frontline officers. That's what it means because they are attending to several people daily. They have become frontline officers. They are not supposed to even go back to their families. because they're supposed to
Yeah, they're supposed to have a place
a
where they
place where they
probably
are
stay.
staying. So what preparation was done? What protective personal equipment was given to them, PPE, to help them ensure there is how much effort was put in place to ensure perfect social distancing. Go to Ikeja and see the crowd. Go anywhere else and see the crowd out there. This is and the organ that gave this instruction is somewhere social distancing. So this is very very wrong at all levels. I'm really glad this is happening. This is long overdue. Okay, let's see what they are going to do about this. Are they going to the amount being even paid to this graduate is ridiculous. It's ridiculous to put people on the front line and still do all of this to them. So at first and foremost, the question is why was this sudden jump into such a decision? No protection for these individuals. We're trying to curtail the spread of Lagos is the place that has high number of these coronavirus cases, and you now put those crowd of people and say somebody will not test positive. It's not possible. Somebody in that place must have tested positive. We have a lot of asymptomatic MC workers are just realizing that they are not essential workers. They're actually essential workers right now. They are meeting too many people daily. They are meeting so many people. The heat, everybody is trying to get the hang of it. People are being charged as much as 5,000 to get these things done. And what is being done? I think we need to stop taking, we need to start, I'm even wondering why did people even go there in the first place? If nobody had showed up there.
Apparently, people.
Would they have done what they did?
I don't know, but I feel people just felt, oh, okay, I will not be able to communicate my business, my this, my that. So it's like, let me just
that's what led to the corruption. Some of the workers of the NIMT took advantage of these things, started billing people money, started saying, pay this money, you get this thing done. And all of these things need to be properly looked into. If the government cannot, the lack of proper preparation has gotten us to this point, and it is sad that every single time people that lack capacity are put in a position that require people of intellectual capacity. It is sad. Most of these people are just empty drums. They make the loudest noise.
Okay. For that, Daniel. And you're still listening to the newspaper review. I'd still like to get your contributions this morning on 070 317 56537. I'll just take some of the WhatsApp and text messages we have this morning. And this is from Olushoga Ajayi from Odunlaipo. It says, I'm of the opinion that the NIN exercise should be suspended for now due to the situation in the country, unrest, and this pandemic. I have registered my name since 2012, but it was not like this as at then. The government should look for another soft way to carry out this. Thank you very much, Olushoga, for your contribution this morning. And Sam from Ikotun says, our military takes too much talk. Our military talks too much talk. Even the federal government spokesperson are not helping issues. Have they forgotten the enemies listen to radio and use phones? How can you be fighting war and at the same time be giving the enemies your strategy on radio and granting related interviews? All right, thank you so much for your contribution there. And Israel from Ogijo says this morning, I perceived the educational civilization of the West is totally questionable. The NIMC registration in Kano had registered 2.3 million people in the north. However, in the West here, there is no easy way to register. What is wrong? The Niger governor, how did he know that the bandits are hired and paid from Mali and other countries? Who are those who pay them? Where is the source of his information? Can El Rufai be investigated for his statement on the issue of paying some people to quit the killing in the north? And honestly, the northern governors are not ignorant of the political weeds called bandits, Boko Haram, etc. Then what is coming will shock Nigeria. Don't joke with the piece of write-up I sent. All right, thank you. And Trump finally surrendered after a disgraceful action by his supporters to lend him their supporters to cause havoc. On tanker, other regulatory agencies should look for more convenient ways to convey petroleum products this year to avoid incessant tanker explosion that happened last year. Have a fantabulous and corona-free weekend. Thank you, and you too. And this other text message, Mufa Stevens from Ikotu has this to say, good morning, Daniel. and Sumbo. Okay, Sumbo is not in the studio this morning. It is indeed hilarious to read in the newspaper that Mr. President and his vice will be live on national TV to take the vaccine that is not even up to 200,000 as against the 150 million people. It takes my mind back to President Obasanjo and Atiku's national ID card registration on national TV, where the plastic card was immediately given to them. But today, not even a quarter of Nigerians have been registered. Mr. President advised never categorically answer that question. And Additional Wasiu in Ikorodu says, good morning in the studio. On electricity increment, I think company should provide electricity without sending it to national grid. This national grid is a problem. Each region should generate and distribute their own power. And he also says, if Trump can do that in America, I think America cannot be pointed to to as an example unless Trump is punished for the civil call. Thank you very much. And Vaccine, I think Nigeria needs to be very careful because Chinese now bring in another vaccine to Nigeria. We need to look inward for COVID-19 solution. Thank you for your contribution there. And Engineer Wale from Baroa Ipaja says, Bonjour newspaper review through from the federal government should place a travel ban on all American politicians involved in yesterday's election violence at Capitol Hill. God bless Nigeria.
Yeah, we should actually do that. We should actually discuss that at our National Assembly, place a ban on these officials, make sure that they do not come into our country. We wouldn't want to be part of those who are inciting violence. Yeah.
All right. Lawrence from Agoro says the moment ministers, House of Representative members, and top officials in government started receiving threats, phone calls during the hashtag NSAS protest, it becomes an emergency for Nigerians to have identification numbers so that they can be traced because it's now affecting them. Thank you, Lawrence, for your contribution there. And we'll just take this text message and we'll definitely go back to the dailies. This says, good morning. The government is being counterproductive with the NIN stuff. In these computerized age, can't it be done better? On US, it will be okay. Your intention for you, and may he bless you with the people who have genuine love and care for you. May he bless you with the people who care and okay, thank you very much. And may he bring blessing to you with the people who pray. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your contribution. But yes, if you want to be a part of the newspaper review, just send your messages to 070 317 56537. We would like to get to hear from you. What do you think about the dailies we're having reviewing this morning? On the Punch newspaper, headlines live telecast. And this is the newest development with the vaccine that is going to be brought to Nigeria. And apparently, we are all aware that the federal government has the intention of getting some vaccine for about 42 million Nigerians that is going to be brought into the country. And some persons are looking forward to it. Some persons are saying, no, I don't want to get vaccinated. But then it says here, the executive director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Fiscal Shaibu, has said that the president, President Muhammadu Buhari, and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and the secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, and other prominent Nigerians will be amongst the first set to receive the COVID-19 vaccine on live television to help drive awareness. COVID-19 in Abuja on Thursday. And he says, I mentioned that we would like to see a situation where Mr. President and Vice President, SGF, critical leaders come and take the vaccine in full glare of the public to demonstrate that this vaccine is safe. So we have to make provision for those. But even in developed country, what we have seen is that apart from the patriotic political leaders, that you don't to be wiped off by the virus.
Ah,
Eshaibu said, experience has shown that vaccines are always better than health immunity.
mm.
I saw a video yesterday, I showed it to you.
Okay. Well,
And then
I feel like I need to sound very savage with that particular
now
headline.
there are some parts of these write up that I actually want to emphasize on. It says here that other prominent Nigerians will be among the first to receive the vaccine on live television to help drive awareness. One. Then we have, it also says here that all of these people and other critical leaders come and take the vaccine in full glare of the public to demonstrate that the vaccine is safe, right? And we also have that experience has shown that the vaccines are always better than health immunity.
Well, okay, so two ways, right? So yeah, let them. I'm glad they're going to be one of the first set of people to take it, but let's not. There's nothing to celebrate about. Let's be real. Let's be real about it. It's just a vaccine. Come on, don't make it look like you're doing the citizens a favor. You're not doing the citizens a favor. These are mandatory things that everybody is supposed to, get how to go about it. I'm concerned we're going to need 2.6 trillion naira for vaccines for 160 million Nigerians. Of these vaccines coming to be stored at minus 70 degrees. How are we hoping to achieve that? I'm wondering about that also. Well,
Because we're having issues with electricity.
yes, so important people, let's not overhype ourselves. Let's keep our shoulders low. Don't raise your ego up. Chop it on the left and the right for you. But the most important thing here is the vaccines are coming in. I want to also find out what is the results that have been done by the Nigerian Medical Association to also certify this vaccine as okay to be used on people. As much as these foreign companies have tested it and said yes, they're good. Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson, cutting two other companies that we're expecting vaccines from. I've said certify these vaccines to be. The question is, as NMAs certified it to be okay, as virologists have certified this to be okay.
NAVDAC.
No,
Maybe not necessarily. Yes, virologists actually. Yeah.
Medical
Research. Yeah.
Have they also certified that it's okay? Because a lot of I've listened to two virologists speak recently and say, let us still observe what exactly has kept us this far. We're in a hurry to push out this vaccine.
Okay, so more like we should promote that first.
We should look at our immunity. What have we done enough study on the immunity of Nigerians? What has been keeping us safe? People have been moving around. People have been hanging out in large places. The truth remains that a lot of people might have this virus.
I might have been cured.
Treatment or taking typhoid treatment, and they're good. They're safe. They're fine. But what then has kept us with the low rate of infection, low rates of death? I know we are recording about 5,000 increase in the last 10 days, but we also need to has not allowed us to go down the dread like other parts of the world. So I want to believe that there is more to this, because how are we going to finance 2.6 trillion naira? That's adding to our debt.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. 07031756537 studio line to be a part of the newspaper review. And you're listening to Women Radio 91.7. It's 16 minutes to 8. The Punch newspaper has the headline, Reps may allow states to determine minimum wage. The federal government may soon lose its exclusive power to negotiate and determine the minimum wage of workers across the 3 tiers of government. And the House of Representatives is considering an amendment of the 1999 Constitution by removing matters relating to wages from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list. And when a bill becomes law, respective states and local governments will determine different wages for their workers. And the legislation is titled A Bill for an Act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to, among others, transfer the subject matter of prescription, one of the second schedule of the concurrent legislative list set out under Part 2 of the second schedule of the Constitution and for related matters. And the bill is sponsored by Mr. Garba Dati Mohammed, which is at the second reading, seeking to make respective governments to determine minimum wages in accordance to available resources. And he actually said that he hopes that the federal government, organized labor, and governors will support the proposal. And he stated that allowing the federal government to solely determine a uniform wage for all states, irrespective of their individual economic capacity, was unfair. Let me get your contribution, Daniel. Do you agree with this?
I don't think it's unfair. I think at this point in time, if we have the right minds of leaders approaching 2023 elections, and governors are particularly allowed the opportunity to determine what the minimum wage should be, I think there should be a benchmark, because that's a clause. What that means is that governors
It
might
means
decide to pay less than 30,000
you
or
can even
more
decide
than
to pay
30.
10,000. You can decide to
Yes,
pay
that this
2,000.
is the state of the economy of the state, and we can't pay more than this amount as minimum wage. So I think there should be a standing rule on this is what we have set as a standard as the minimum wage. You can
Okay.
pay above this, but you cannot pay below this, right? That should also be there, because we saw how the governors were negotiating 22,500 at the beginning of when this conversation on the minimum wage was
Began.
up, even while the tripartite committee was making up the standard rate of what to be applied. And even as we speak, the minimum amount that an individual should have at the end of a month should be $100. Equate $100 right now to a naira. How much to naira? Is that no more than 30,000 naira? So I think that there are certain states that if some governors are going to be mindful of the fact that they might want to come back in 2023 for elections, or they want their political party to continue to be the reigning party in that particular governor, that they have what it takes to take their people out of poverty. Because as much as possible, we have a lot of people in civil servants. If a state can come out and say he's paying 42,000 naira, it can be used as a campaign strategy for another state. You can say, when I was governor, I paid this amount of money. I am ready to see how we can up it in my next tenure. People want to get paid. Money is a very attractive thing. I also think that if they are going to do this, I also think federal government allocation should be removed from states. If the federal government doesn't want to be in control of what the minimum wage standard should be, they should also take away federal government allocations from these states, so that the states
states
can
now.
sit.
Rosenje Mutiu Olawale from Alakwara says, "Good morning, my dear presenters. The electricity hike is not only ungodly but uncalled for, as the masses are not able to feed themselves with 18,000 minimum wage and would have to pay electricity bill through their nose. It's obvious that the PDP never is to milk us dry. We won't stop having tankers explosion until the government starts monitoring tanker drivers and their tankers. Majority of these tankers are totally off the road from the country they were imported from. Nigeria will survive, and Allah bless Nigeria." Thank you for your contribution there. And I have this text message here. This is from Israel from Ubijo. He said, "Let's not General and nature be happy now, because our enemies will strategize, hit their target without losing the prey. I had said it that Osama bin Laden could be finished out in another country without losing him as a major targeted enemy. I wonder why within Borno State, our common enemy could not be finished out within us. I also had first hand, Wala is coming. So Buhari is stronger than everyone in Nigeria." And Aki from Ikorodu says, "It's funny how we're laying much emphasis on Trump. Has any Nigerian leader achieved close to him? Nigerians will look for loopholes in America to make Nigeria look good. They should name one sector in Nigeria that is even average, talk less of great. But America has gone far in development, and we like mediocrity in Nigeria and Africa at large. On vaccines, of course, they will give the rich. We aren't surprised. NIMC uh, charges to is not a surprise. The biggest characteristics of Nigeria is greed and covetousness, which is wickedness. When we must never negotiate with bad leadership. Greedy politician is the problem of Nigeria." Thank you very much for your contribution. Mofa Stevens from Ikorodu says, "I hope African forces are on the alert for peacekeeping mission in the US. We need to be up and doing at this period because of the embarrassment of last year. It's spilling over to 2021 in America. I can't imagine how many lives would have been lost if those that stormed the Capitol are not white supremacists but blacks. Triple standards, Abby. All right. Thank you very much for that. Nigerian must take responsibility for his or her safety. Dagre. Okay, thank you for your contribution there. Additional was you in Ikorodu says, Good morning, studio. Nigeria's problem is that centralize everything, e.g., electricity, distribution revenue, distribution resources, distribution, even policy, everything concentration the center until we decentralize every everything we can until we decentralize, then we can move forward. All right, thank you for your contribution there. Mike from Ikeja says, Good morning, newspaper review crew. Good morning to you. My take is on kidnappers ravaging the north of Edo State. Akoko Edo local government and border towns between Ondo and Edo states, which the vigilantes has been able to arrest some of the gang members, and we are hearing some people are going about their release. Please press monitor this development in the state CID in Benin City. All right, thank you for your contribution there. And we'll just take some text messages before we call the program to a wrap. Please help us beg okay, Glo to allow me retrieve my lost SIM. I have been to their center twice and called their customer care line, but was told the management has not approved SIM retrieval. All right, and yeah, I think it is not just peculiar to you. I heard of someone who actually tried doing that. So at this point, hold your phones tight. Make sure nothing happens to your phone because I think that is the only. But then I'm sure they're working on ensuring that people who have probably misplaced their SIM to be able to get it retrieved.
I think it's more easier if you have your SIM pack because a lot of times
No, I think it's because of this whole
the whole
policy
yes, the whole
thing.
policy thing,
Yes,
no
that is why
retrieval of
that's
SIM, no new registration.
no new
of SIM.
registration. Yes.
But I think that is being looked into.
Yeah.
So we hope that that would be resolved. So just keep in contact, close contact with your friends.
All right, Anderson from Itoki says, Good morning, Daniel and the lady in the studio. On NIN strike, I am really in support because Nigerian government has no vision. They are operating a blind and I don't care attitude and come and eat government. All right, thank you for your contribution there. Makandi from Ibafo says, Good morning, WFM. Let the vaccine Buhari and Co be the same with one that should be given to the citizens because everything about this APC government is all about all right, thank you very much. And Nigeria should not criticize Americans, no matter whatever they are still better than Nigeria. Thank you very much, Makandi, for your contribution. And we're going to call the newspaper review to a wrap at this point. Thank you for staying tuned to Women Radio 91.7. Thank you for your contribution. Daniel, thank you for joining us this morning. But please, let us be mindful. COVID-19 is still real. Let us be safe out there. Observe all of the precautionary measures. Wherever you are going, even if you're the only one wearing your nose mask, wear it. And please, if you don't really have any cause to go out, stay in your house. It's not a time for you to be visiting anybody. Visitations will happen. We have done visitations, between the space of the lockdown that was relieved and all of that. All of those visitations are enough. You can decide to just take a pause for now. And we just hope that things will get better and definitely Nigeria will be great. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning.
We are WFM 91.7, the voice of women, using radio as a tool for women development. We condemn the abuse of women, girls, and children in any shape or form.